I want to make a battle jacket for my long Furby. I have my own that I've been working on since high school, and I think it would be really cute if I could match with my son, Rainbow Sherbert. This is my jacket for reference. I've had it for about 3 or 4 years now. It's still really blank in some spots, but I'm mostly just waiting to find patches that will fit in the smaller areas. Something really fun that I noticed while filming this is that it does have a little hint of a cat pee aroma on one side, so that's super awesome. I have a whole bag of pins and patches to use. Some of them I already had, some of them I got specifically for this. And I'm going to start by cutting out a little vest size that fits him using this piece of denim. I think maybe it used to be a pair of jeans. I don't know. So I'm just gonna size that and then make it look like a vest and start adding things. I just wrapped him up and eyeballed where to cut it. And there it is. These are all of my potential patch options. The ones on the top I got specifically for this, and all the rest I just had laying around. I know the Reagan Youth Jesus Was a Communist patch is really rough because I made it when I was 15, but I did touch it up before sewing it on. These are all my options for the back patch. The two in the bottom right, I printed both, and then the other ones I got for free. And here's the edges pinned down. Super exciting. So I sewed up all of the open edges of this. And then what I'm going to do now is take some of the extra fabric that I have to make the collar. I'm just going to fold it in half like this and sew along and then turn it inside out and then put it on. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. And then also I think what I'm going to do is add some buttonholes along here and then sew some buttons onto his side where it would align. I think that's how I think I'm gonna have it attached because, you know, he doesn't have arms, so he can't wear it like a regular vest. My other idea was Velcro, but I think that would kind of look ugly, and if I got some black buttons, it would be a little bit more subtle and not super obvious. So here's me pinning everything in place. I did actually film a time-lapse sewing it all together, but my phone ran out of storage halfway through, and now that video is just stuck loading for all eternity, basically, so you don't get to see that. Sorry. I added the collar, and then I ended up doing snaps along the edges instead of buttons because I think it's less obvious than buttons would have been. And I did line the entire thing, all three sides, with snaps so that it can be more secure. But only doing the top two snaps is I think what I'm going to do most of the time because they're not exactly entirely even when they're all on, so you kind of get like this type of situation, which is probably not noticeable to anyone except for me. But I just think that the two snaps only makes it look a little bit more natural. I am thinking about adding some buttonholes and then buttons along the two sides so that it's like more like a real vest. But obviously it would just be for display. Yeah, so now I just need to add all the patches and stuff. I still haven't decided what I want to do for the back patch, but I did use my fabric marker to mark where exactly it will go so I don't put one that's too big or too small. This is what I was originally going to do, but this is what I actually ended up doing. I just think the colors suit his personality a lot better. By the way, I do not want to see any battle jacket police in the comments, okay? Majority of the time, whenever someone posts what they deem to be a bad battle jacket, it's just one that someone who just got into the scene just started working on. These things take a lot of time and effort to create. No one is going to have a perfect jacket overnight. Everyone looks like a poser when they just start out. and being elitist about it is pointless and obnoxious. Everyone has their own opinion on what it means to be a true punk, and everyone thinks that their opinion is the only correct one. Arguing about it isn't going to change anyone's mind, it's just going to piss people off and make you frustrated. So instead of arguing online, maybe try going outside and thinking about things that actually matter. If you don't like my Furbies jacket, I don't care, and if you comment hate about it, I'm just going to block you. I have added on a couple patches, and I also added a few pins. So now I'm going to take some of the leftover denim that I have to add pockets right here, one on each side. And for one of the pockets for the button, I'm going to use this star thing that I found on the ground when I was camping last month. Yeah, and then the other one will have this pin on top of it. And then after I have that done, I'm gonna see how many more patches I can fit and arrange all that and stuff. Maybe add a few more pins, and then I'm definitely gonna add some studs. I have some colorful ones that I think would go really well. I just vaguely measured how big I wanted them to be and used my eyes to make them as even as I could. Back to the poser thing, I will admit that Rainbow Sherbert is a bit of a poser himself. As far as I'm aware, he has not been to any shows or protests, and I do acknowledge that that is partially on me as a parent. But I will let you know that very soon he will be coming with me to a DIY anti-festival where he will be able to be initiated into my local scene. This is part of why I decided to make him a vest now, after having him for so many years. Here's the pockets. I did lie about the pin being on one of them because it's too big. So I added a few more patches and then also some studs along the bottom. So I think it's done for now. There is still some blank space on the sides and stuff, but you know, this isn't the kind of thing that will ever be like fully done. You kind of just add on to it forever, and I'm sure that I will find more patches in the future that will suit him. That's it for this video. Let me know if you liked it. Don't let me know if you didn't. I do have a few more videos planned that you can expect within the next 1 to 8 weeks. One of them is a part 2 to the 2010s inspired summer bucket list video that I posted last month, and the other one is a secret, but I promise that it is very exciting and you do not want to miss it. So stay tuned for that, and goodbye.